Okay, so our story is moving right along. Listen, fast and furious, but moving right along. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Our Kind of People. This is season 1, episode 3. Hot links and red drinks. Hot links and red drinks. I think that's how it went, or either red drinks and hot links. However, we eating and we sipping. That's it. It's one of them too. Screwing up already, but that's that's all right. That's all right. That's all right. I'm here. Listen, I'm here for the foolishness. Okay, so I told you this show speeds by me. So I grab as much as I can, and I say, okay, hold on. But anyway, there was a lot going on. We covered a lot of ground here. First thing was funny to me. We got Angela preparing to go in for her interview for the what is this little person? Incubator program. She's going in for her interview. Child, I said, Miss Angela, girl, come in close to the screen. Are you putting red fingernail polish on the soles of those shoes? So you got a pair of loose buttons, huh? Loose buttons from down the way. I said, poor thing. Poor thing. She is out. She's getting down with that fingernail polish in them shoes. I was just wondering how many of y'all actually caught that. She was putting red fingernail polish on the bottoms of those shoes. Trifling. Child, stop this, honey. I get fake it till you make it, but don't be ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Anyway, do your thing, girl. Anyway, moving on. So Nikki actually sees that there's a video of her that has resurfaced from where, it's like a year ago, because it's actually Juneteenth as well. A year ago where she got into a fight and it then resurfaced onto the internet. It's like, oh Lord. So she just kind of went on. And what I had taken, her mother had actually never seen it. And this is just not the time for any of that to be resurfacing. It just isn't. It really is not. Lauren, over the other way, over at Franklin's, Lauren actually comes out to her dad, and her dad, he just told her, it is what it is. You my baby, and it is what it is. He accepted it, and he was good with it. So that worked for her, because she really is like, I really paid attention to the character of Lauren. Lauren is like coming loose mentally, a little by little, right in front of our face. And I haven't been really paying her character that much attention, but she is literally kind of unraveling. She really is. She's not real strong anyway. She really pampered little princess, and there's a lot going on. There really is a lot going on in her world, and it's just unraveling right in front of our faces. And like I said, I wasn't even really paying her that much attention, and it doesn't seem like the people around her is paying that much attention either. Moving on. Angela goes into her interview. Leah finds out about the interview late, that she got it, and that Raymond gave it to her. She was pissed, so she was just ready, and she shot her down. She actually asked her about the packaging and said that the packaging was ghetto and all this other stuff. And when she did that, I thought Angela did a great job. She stood up for the packaging. She gave all types of statistics and all types of numbers to back up the relevancy of the packaging, and what it is to the brand, what it is to the neighborhood, what it is to the core client base that she already has built and everything. I thought she did a fantastic job. But again, Leah was taking shots because she just wanted to. She's being nasty. But anyway, so she shot her down. And then said it was due to the fact that she didn't just accept the constructive criticism, which was bullshit. Anyway, when they came outside, she was sitting there talking to her. She told her, called her sis, and real threw shade at her, letting her know, girl, you are no better than me. We are one and the same, and you know it. You know what I'm talking about. And she kind of keyed her car. a little taste. Just a little taste. I said to her, key to car. I said, oh, I think it's a white Mercedes. Maybe now it's white with key marks, honey. Shh. I said, oh, that was petty. Anyway, but you know, that was very much like someone with fingernail polish on the bottom of their shoes, on their loop buttons, honey. Moving on. Raymond ends up going to see Teddy, and he basically tells Teddy, you know, listen, we are way ahead of the projection. I've done everything in my power to bring my company back up to where it's supposed to be, months ahead of the timing, and I think it's time for you to give me my company back. And child, then we went into one of the Papa Pope long dissertations about how a girl always marries a guy who is just like her father, but in this case we're so much different, because he told him, I would never come to someone and ask for something that belongs to me back after I screwed it up. I would never do that. So yeah, no, you're nothing like me. I was like, and then he told him, and all of a sudden he says, you know, but you know that I've done my thing. You know it. He's like, but you have me locked out of the books. And he says, and you're going to stay locked out of the books, and the company will stay in my possession until the original time is up. No matter what you do, I don't care. And then walked to the door and basically put him out. Open the door to get out, y'all. Get on up out of here. I was like, wow, a mess. But they're killing me with these Papa Pope speeches. But moving on. Then we have this whole little flashback to where Leah and her mother had this whole thing about the roses and this here, the party that they're getting ready to do. It's this annual party about the roses. It was really something wrapped around Juneteenth and freedom and all these things, and her mother had actually put it together. And the flashback was when her and her mom were getting, you know, when it was first kicking off, and her mother had this little episode. And that's when the mother kind of got medicated and got locked up because she was kind of coming unravel. It was probably just the pressure of all of that and everything else that was going on. And she snapped a little, so she had to go. And Leah actually did see all of that happen. And her father told her at that time, what you saw here, your mother is broken. I said, this was so mean. Said, your mother is broken. And that is a sign of weakness. I was like, oh, you are a cold-blooded bastard. A mental break is not a sign of weakness, and how dare you? But this is what he told her, so this is what she kind of goes by. You, as we're going, we see why Leah is who she is. She's nasty. She's nasty. It's all because of Teddy. Really, truly, a mess. But it's, you know, when you say you created this monster, deal with it. That's where he at in life now. And as we're going forth, we see more of him. He got the shakes, and it's happening a little more often. Anyway, moving on. Leah goes out to see her mother. And she goes to see her mother, and she sees that there's some Eve's products there. She says she's going to fix her mom's hair. She ended up leaving there. She goes right to Leah's house. So, what are you doing going over my mother's? Well, we all know that she went over to the mother's because you lazy and trifling, and you were sending somebody else to do your work. So she just scooped in and did it, and she went herself to do it. That's how she ended up being there with your mother, stupid. But anyway, she offered her a check, basically, to go away. You know, generous check. She done pulled all her, she done doxed her, pulled all her information about what she owes on credit cards and her back school loans, all this stuff. She's like, I'll pay it off, give you a little extra. You just need to go away. You need to go away. Hey, that doggone Angela told her, not happening. You don't know me. And she ended up telling her, you know what it is. You know we're sisters. It's proven. She said through a DNA test. She said, DNA, where'd you get some DNA from? She don't realize she pulled it out of that wig that she had. And she took the check, and she was working on a mannequin, working on some hair when Leah actually came. She cut her hand and wiped it on the check and told her, here, go get a DNA test of your own so you can get the proof for yourself. We are sisters. Period. And then told her, you're going to have so much fun being my sister. I said, oh my God, girl, you giving whoop whoop right now. And Leah was looking at her like, she just cut herself with them scissors. I was like, yeah, I caught that. Like, yeah. Now you listen. You know I love a good old nasty piece of read. I do. I do. You know, nothing pleases me more than to get up in my mind. You know, my mind goes to the dark corner, and I will give you one old nasty piece of read. But I'm not going to cut myself, proving no point. That's a little over on the left. That's a little left of center. I'm not going to do that. I'll read you down, but I'm not getting ready to harm me. I'm not going to get no stitches trying to prove no point to you. That's a little. Honey, I was like, that's a little bit much. Anyway, moving on. Teddy and Angela end up having this little conversation. And she goes in there and she basically tells him, I am not for sale. I've never been for sale. Well, you really were. But, you know, that's her whole thing. She was like so offended because she thought he sent Leah. And he told her no. And he really tried to go ahead and play on her. He did. He told her, you know, you know, it was never like that. I didn't do right by you, but I didn't just try to, like, you know, I messed up. And I said, oh, girl, he great get you with the Jedi mind trick, honey. And he got her. He went over there, and he was having some shakes under the table and all that. But he comes around the other side of the desk. He sits on the end of the desk, and I thought she's ready to fall for it. He told her, you know, you and your mom were important, and this, that, and the other. He grabs her by her hands and she pulled her hand. Told him, not at all. And he actually had asked her, well, what can I do? Like, what can I do? We're here now. What can I do to fix this? She's like, nothing. Like, you've always done nothing. And she walked out because she was all up in her feelings. That's what she does. She gets overcome with emotion. She really is tough, but she's not as crude as them. So she, you know, she's a little different, but you know, just as nasty, but just, you know, she got a little bit of a conscience left. Anyway, moving on. So she leaves out with that. Now, Nikki is actually out with Taylor. They go to a little party, a little Juneteenth party. Ends up getting into it with some of Lauren's friends. They made some colorist statements. And of course, you know, Nikki's a brown girl, so that kind of bothered her, got up underneath her skin. She starts arguing. She went to pulling the girl's weave out. Which was literally like the same thing that actually happened the year before. And we found out that it was literally during Juneteenth that fight happened. Same type of thing. Somebody with some colorist statements. She had to put them paws on them and all that. Then Nikki and Taylor end up sitting and they talk. And Taylor actually comes and lets her know. She says, you know, I did something that I'm not really proud of either. She says, you know, Lauren didn't push me off of that boat. Like I said, I was drunk and I don't know. So I just woke up in the hospital and I was just so angry at her. They were arguing, but she didn't. I don't know what she was doing. You know, they extra. So I guess trying to prove a point and jumped on off of there. But anyway, so she lied. And Nikki told her, well, no, it's not too late to change it. You can fix it. You can actually fix it. You know, and everything like that. So that was cute. It was a cute little moment between them. I don't know where that's going because there's always going to be issues. Listen, she is or she was your cousin. That's your first cousin. That was your first cousin's woman. This ain't going to end well. But anyway, y'all do what y'all do. Leah and Raymond ends up having a little conversation. Leah tells Raymond all about Angela, that they are actually sisters, just that thing. That was like, well, what does she want? You know, and it's like, child, I don't know. She said, well, she's doing that thing to you, making you wait and find out. That's, you know, I know you don't like it. Then we got this other little piece that we talked about. And you see, again, I always feel like when I'm doing these reviews that I'm just jumping around. I'm sorry, you all. I really do try to make this roll like I usually roll when I'm talking to you. But the show doesn't roll smooth. So I can't, listen, I can't rewrite it. I could, but I ain't. Until Lee Daniels hits me up. You got to pay for these. When Lee pays me, look, it got me stuttering. When Lee pays me to rewrite this screenplay, I'll do it. But for now, I've just given you what they gave me, and it jumps all around just like this. It jumps. So I'm sorry. I apologize, and I'll keep apologizing in every review. Hey, it is what it is. You know I hate the way this is written, but it's good. The content is good. Lee Daniels, I can't believe you're making me work like this. Listen, you can pay for these. I'll fix it. Anyway, moving on. So Aunt Patricia is out. It's like, girl, where's she at? Like out somewhere and like on some land or something. Teddy comes and just gets in the car. And she's like, what? Finds out Aunt Patricia done killed a man. Okay? She killed a man. And the body, she really is buried out there. He bought the land that the man was buried on. And then bought all the land around it. And he told her, listen, I got leverage. I got something over your head. And I will always have it over there. And I will use it when the time comes that I need to use it. See, because remember, we ended the show last week with Aunt Patricia having Teddy at gunpoint, and then we never actually seen the actual conversation. I was like, really? This was the perfect time for him to have one of them long diatribes that he be done. Whatever. Anyway, jump, 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 move, move, move. So he told her, he's holding it over her head. He said, I told you that I wanted you to get Angela to leave here. And you didn't do it. So, listen, it just is what it is. I got something over your head, and I'm going to use it until you give me what I want. So that's that. Moving on. Let's jump again. Teddy and Angela. Angela goes to see Teddy again. They're talking. And this is at the party. Now, they have this party, and you got to be dressed in red. It's about the roses and all of that. I think it's pretty much black and red that everybody's wearing. Here it is. Angela wasn't invited. And this is the other thing. All these high nose, high brow parties that you just keep on finding your way getting into. Girl, stop. That's messy. Because she keeps going and crashing these parties, which is bullshit. But okay. She goes to Teddy and tells him, you know, there's one thing. You asked me the one thing I want help with. I want you to help me get into the incubator program. And he says, Leah oversees that program. I can't overstep that. I cannot overstep it. I can't do anything about it. She says, so it's a no. He's like, no, that's not it. I just literally cannot overstep that. I can't do it. She says, so again, you're doing as you've always done. Nothing. I said, oh, jeez. Okay. So right in the midst of that, here comes the son, Leah's son, come to get the grandfather, because here there's a whole episode happening. Here, Lauren then took and brought the grandmother out of the home. Now, another thing. Since when could the grandchildren sign the children? It don't work like that. Lauren couldn't sign grandmama out of the thing. Whatever. She didn't bring grandma. Grandma's having an episode. Grandma tearing up a rose bush, looking for a specific rose. And said, if you see any of them with pink on it, you know, she has that whole little thing going on. She's like, they all got to go. They all got to go. And Angela is walking up over there, and she's like looking, and the mother starts calling Angela her daughter and telling Leah, you're not my goddamn daughter. What are you talking about? Get out of here. Get your hands off me. Then she pulled away from Leah, and she falls down, and it was a whole episode. And of course, you know, there's paparazzi there. There's interviewers there. There's all kinds of people from magazines there. It was a whole big mess. So in the midst of all of that, Leah says to Angela, why in the hell does she keep calling you her daughter? What in the hell's going on? Angela was like, girl, I don't want no parts of this. She would try to walk away. She said, oh, no, sweetie. You don't get to walk away on this one. And then she starts hollering. She done made a scene. She is my father's bastard child. I said, oh, Lord. So shortly after that, they needed to literally do a speech. And the people standing around, ain't nobody leaving because everybody's like, child, what they get ready to say? So Angela So we know she's just like them, honey. She talks them into Olivia poping the situation. She says if we all present ourselves as a family, there's nothing they can do with it. See, everybody wants hot tea, but if you take the steam off the tea, nobody wants it anymore because it's not hot anymore. So we present ourselves as a unified front, as a family, and then that's it. And the tea is no good anymore. And they're like, oh, okay, cool, no problem. Gets up on the stage, basically owns it. You know, this is not, yes, she's my sister from some indiscretions my father made years and years ago. We weren't planning on doing it like this, but it is what it is. It's just unfortunate that it happened like this. But yes, Angela is actually a part of the family, this, that, thing, and the other. Angela takes center stage. They're like, what are you doing? What are you doing? She takes center stage and then tells them that she is the newest member of the incubator program. I said, no, she didn't, honey. Just forced herself a way in. So, you know, Papa is pissed and Leah is doubly pissed. And I don't think that Raymond cared for it too much. But Raymond, I think, got a little sweet eye for Angela anyway. So it'll just smooth over. So, anyway, that's that. That all happens there. Then we end up seeing earlier on, Tyreek had actually installed, you know, he's doing some work over at Angela's. He installed this surveillance system inside her house. And Teddy has passcodes to actually be able to watch her in her house. So he didn't double-crossed her, you know, due to his loyalty to him. And he's like, oh, when he said, you know, I made such a mistake, son, you know, when I messed around with the help. And he told me, say, you know, most of my family is the help. My father was the help. And he's like, oh, no offense, son. You know, yeah, it was an offense. He said exactly what the hell he meant. And you felt it. And so he said, well, what can I do for you? Can I do, you know, he's so used to buying people. And he's like, no, you don't need to do anything for me. And he told him, well, I can get you what I'll do, you know, since he ain't going to accept any money. He said, I'll get you an interview for the building of a new stadium. You know, there's going to be contractors that's needed. So I'll get you an interview where you can make a pitch. And he's like, oh, thank you. And I'm like, okay, but you just showed us your hand, Tyreek. Because now we don't like you anymore. As cute as you are, as fine as you are, honey, with your black self, honey. Whew, Lord have mercy. But you a snake. You're a black mambo. And ain't nobody got time for it. For that poison that you got. That venom, you shady. Get your ass out of here. Horrible. Horrible. And you should never be. She should never. When she finds out, she should never forgive him. Chop his head off. Anyway, moving on. So, Nikki ends up talking to Angela about the relationship with her grandmother and her, how grandma really was her best friend, everything like that. And she ended up finding out about the fight and all that, and they actually ended up talking. And she ended up talking to Aunt Patricia and told Aunt Patricia, you know, I'm getting a better understanding of my daughter and all that. So she rolls back to Nikki toward the end of the episode and tells her, you know what, I made a decision. I'm going to change the packaging, but I'm getting ready to make you the face of Eve's. It's still in the family. I'm going to make you the face of Eve. So that was like a bonding thing for them. Same time over at the other place, her sister, Leah, has actually sat with Lauren and basically told her, you know what, listen, I'm so sorry. I was trying to and she literally took her sister's advice and told her to stop trying to fight. And told her, I'm trying to make you perfect. I was trying to do to you what my father did to me, which is wrong. I'm going to accept what you have going on. I'll deal with it. And that's it. I accept it. And then we get a phone call to Teddy, which is from the doctor, which confirmed Parkinson's, like I told y'all. And then the last thing is Angela, while Angela and Nikki were talking, Nikki was saying how, you know, she does all these little things on her social media, hoping that one day her dad will just see it and notice that they got eyes alike. And then she says, well, you know, I knew, we didn't know this. She said, I know that it was like a one night stand and you don't really know who he is, who my dad is, but you know, it's just like something crazy that I did. And the last thing we see Angela going into the jail, and we see the daddy, the father. She knows exactly who he is. The father is in jail, and she told him, I think it's time that Nikki meets her father. I said, honey, y'all, see, listen, I don't know why y'all think your life should be anything other than what it is. You all are a goddamn mess. Y'all got a whole life built on lies and secrets. That's why it is what it is. Keep on painting your shoes with that damn fingernail polish. Anyway, I'll see y'all. I was unhappy with everybody at the end of this. I said, y'all are all liars. You're all liars and you're all carrying secrets and you're all vicious, honey. I said, that's exactly why everything, like I said, keep on doing the bottoms of your shoes with that fingernail polish, child. Anyway, I'll see y'all in the comments and I'll see y'all back on screen next week. Later.